It's your weekly video, filmed while waiting to go give a talk about how important public defense is. Wait with me and let's talk about how courts can force people to do stuff. Because courts are issuing some orders right now. They are ordering some people to do some stuff, and there's a lot of discourse right now questioning whether the courts' power, whether their enforcement powers, will actually manifest. Obviously, if we are in a country where federal courts can no longer order people to do stuff, we are in a pretty serious constitutional crisis. But first, let's back up and talk about how courts even exert this power. So courts have basically two primary levers they can pull to force people to do stuff. They can exact financial consequences or liberty-related consequences. Courts do this all the time. The regular stuff they're ordering people to do in my world, in the criminal courts, is like show up to a court date at a time or go to a program. A very gross thing, which I've done a video on, which I can post, is that in many places, courts will throw people in jail for refusing to testify in a case and hold people in jail until they comply with a prosecutor's request to testify. But basically, courts are very accustomed to utilizing law enforcement to either fine a person and say, hey, I'm going to impose a really big fine if you don't do this thing, or I'm going to fine you every day until you do this thing, or to literally apprehend someone and lock them up until they comply. So at the federal level, when a court is ordering someone to say appear for court or like restore a women's health website or like send payments to places, if they don't gain compliance just by their order alone, they would be asking the U.S. Marshal Service to assist them in using these other levers to gain compliance. So we're going to find out two things. One, are courts willing to use the same levers against powerful people, not the president, but like other people? There's a lot of people who work on matters that are subject to court orders right now. What orders is the court willing to use? And what are the U.S. Marshals, who are part of the Department of Justice, answering to the Director of the Marshal Service under the Attorney General, currently willing to do to carry out those orders if so ordered?